Fort Worth Roots friends, welcome back to another Donovan episode, Donovan Manufacturing. When you see that red and black logo, shield and serpent, you know you're in the right place for another Donovan MFG episode. This branch of the Fort Worth Roots is still taking shape. Our friends Dillon and Russell are creating a new platform right here to not only bring you entertainment and information, but also all of the tools you need as a military guy, a Leo, and other first responders to operate at 100%. Their tagline is trusted by law enforcement and built for mission success. We do have Dillon with us today. We've also got Russell with us. And our friend that they brought along is a firearms instructor, a security officer instructor, and he works out at a place called Granger here in the local area. That's enough talking out of me. Thank y'all again for tuning into this episode. You can find our new friend on Instagram as Downrange with Josh. Please give it up for Joshua Whiteurst, and let's start the show. Welcome back, folks, to another episode on the Donovan Manufacturing leg of the Fort Worth Roots. We're going to start from my left and move our way down the road. Tell people who you are and just a quick summary, maybe.
Joshua Whiteurst. I am a firearms instructor, a security instructor, and licenser. Work at Gritter Sports in North Richland Hills, Texas.
Oh, you said the word.
I did. Hey, look, there it is. I represented. That was my plug. You now owe me $20,000.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm just like Donovan said, I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. So, I'm here for it.
Love that. Who's this operator type on your left?
Oh, no, me? Oh, no, that's not me either. I'm another dude playing another dude.
I was never
Jones. Here. Yeah, you don't know me. And I am a professional scuba diver.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to change roles every
Are you also forklift certified, sir?
I am.
That's next week.
Oh, okay. I'm getting ahead of myself.
DOD forklift certified, actually.
Hey,
Watch out. I can also change your air conditioner.
Well, I've got a AC guy on the way to my house right now, I think. So maybe I should have just called you. No? Yeah, because I want it to work later.
Right.
Wait, didn't you have an AC guy on your way to the house last time?
I think so.
Yeah.
This happens quite a bit. I'm sick of it. So anyway, I think we need to go just straight up with the split units. Those are the way to go, man.
I agree. We got one in here.
Yeah, they're so effective. They're way less work. There's no ducting involved. And we're not actually sponsored by a split unit company, but I think that's what's in my future.
But we're looking.
I hope split units are in my future, too. Hey.
I'll pray for you.
Dillon, tell them about yourself, man.
That's you, buddy.
Oh, that's me. Yeah. So I'm the guy. I play myself most of the time.
Excellent.
Donovan Manufacturing. We run the show here.
I don't have my flyer in front of me. We came up with a really good tagline to put on all the paraphernalia that we're passing out about Donovan, but it's for professionals by professionals, right? Donovan Manufacturing.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's a great way to sum it up, because on your website there is just a litany of all sorts of shit going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's on all our T-shirts too, so that helps.
Mm-hmm. You got the full list on the back of your shirt.
Well, it says for professionals by professionals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're not going to say the trigger word. We don't want Russell running out of here. Where are you from, brother?
I'm from Texas, born and raised.
Okay.
Yeah.
What part?
So I'm from Fort Worth.
Okay.
Currently in Bedford right now.
Yeah. I still consider Bedford part of Fort Worth. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
It is. That HEB area, super nice, super quiet.
I got a video the other day. I was out at the Bob Borland Safety Center, the Fort Worth Center, and I said the name wrong, but it's where the Fort Worth Fire Department and the Fort Worth Police Department have like their main offices, training facilities, stuff like that, and they were showing off the new EMS vehicles.
Wait, where is that?
It is kind of off of I-20 and
North I-20 though?
Yeah, just
west of 35?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, out there checking out these new EMS vehicles, Fort Worth is switching from MedStar to Fort Worth Fire Department. Like everything is going to be under them now. And they're taking all the MedStar guys with them too. So it's going to be the same service. The only difference is communication is going to be a little more fluid.
Yeah.
And it's going to be coming straight from the city. So now our EMS guys are technically first responders where they weren't before. So I'm here for it. I think it's a great idea. Anyway, all that just to say, I got to look at this truck, and on the side of the truck, it says Fort Worth in the middle, and then it lists all the member cities. And the member cities, I mean, it might as well just be Fort Worth.
Yeah, right.
Because we're just one big city.
Yeah, that's true. That's the truth.
So you've been here your whole life.
Entire life.
Did you get any traveling done in the middle of that?
I think I'm doing that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of gotten to the point now where, I'm in my 30s and I actually have money to spend.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, all right, I can start doing a little traveling now. I actually just got back from San Diego day before yesterday.
Okay.
First time in San Diego.
Man, last time I went to San Diego, it was an eye opener.
Me too.
So it's beautiful. It's beautiful, but the humans have fucked it up.
Typically, I hear it's an eye closer. You walk around like this all the time.
Well, yeah. You better keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
You turn a corner, you could get stuck with a needle or something. It's pretty rough, man. All the shit you hear about, it's true. Is it still looking pretty rough? I imagine it is.
I stuck around all the nice spots, right? I try to avoid my cousins as much as I can. I stuck around the nice, fancy white beaches. So that's where I stayed.
You took it a weird direction.
No, I didn't.
The last time I was in Tijuana, I stayed not Tijuana, I'm sorry, San Diego. I was on my way to Tijuana. That's the last time I was on my way there.
But San Diego, I went there for a marathon. I was going to run a marathon. So we ran through a huge swath of the city, right? And then when we got done, my brother was like, hey, we're going to go around the corner, and there's this 5-star, really nice restaurant. Don't worry, I'm going to pay for it. I'm like, cool. So we left the area where they're running the marathon, went around the corner, and maybe 3 blocks, and we arrived at this nice 5-star hotel or restaurant. But just the short amount of distance that we covered, I saw somebody taking a shit on the sidewalk. I saw, I'm not making this up, I saw a dude heating up a spoon, and the lady that was with him had like a syringe, and they got baggies and stuff. Like all this stuff that, like, I've never seen this in public ever. And within 3 blocks, I saw everything you could imagine. Just people fighting and rolling around in the middle of intersections, like barking at the street lights. And I mean, it was just crazy. So that's how I got introduced to San Diego.
Yeah, I didn't go there.
My point was, like, you could be in a really nice area, turn a corner, and everything goes dark. I mean, it's just real bad.
Right.
So,
I feel like you have those areas everywhere, though.
Yeah, but
especially
not that
south.
extreme.
If you're in San Diego, you just head south from wherever you're at. It's going to be bad.
Okay.
Or nefarious. I wouldn't say bad, just interesting.
Lively.
Well, you run through. Let's use Dallas as an example. Like, there are some really rough areas. Like, I mean, Deep Ellum. I don't know how they haven't cleaned that up yet, but it's real bad. It ain't as bad as anything I saw in San Diego, though. You know, so I don't know. And when I think of the worst cities to visit, San Diego, Austin is also on that list.
Really? Worst to visit?
Yeah, in terms of if it's
Is this
just
a personal list?
Yeah.
Okay.
What other list matters?
I don't know, because I don't think.
But yeah, San Diego, Austin. I mean, those are some rough areas. Like, they've got some bad pockets in them.
Well, like I said, I mean, there's bad pockets everywhere, and
I'm not vacationing to Skid Row either. I get it.
especially like working security. Like, we've worked security in Deep Ellum before.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And what are you, a level 3 or what are you?
Both.
Yeah.
So Wilson was out here that one
2
day.
and 3.
So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whatever.
You got all the numbers.
All the numbers. But yeah, worked in some really bad areas.
So let's get into that. How did you get started with security?
Somebody thought I was in the military.
Okay.
And offered
Well, you do
me a
have that
job.
look.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I was at church. Somebody approached me and was like, hey, I got a position open. You were in the military. That's kind of how they approached me. And then they gave me a card, then walked away. And I was like, oh, wait, time out. Hold on.
Stolen valor.
Exactly.
I got one.
Ran away real quick. But anyway, I was sitting there, and at the time, I was really trying to get into law enforcement, trying pretty hard. And what occurred was I was thinking, hey, maybe this is a really good transition for me to get into law enforcement, have a gun on my hip, deal with people on their bad days, all that kind of good stuff. So I thought that security would be a good stepping stone into that. And then flash forward a little bit, I went in, and went into the guy's office. I'm like, hey, look, I don't have a background in anything, but, if you still have the position open, I would like it, And he's like, cool, man, you carry yourself well, you talk well. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and get you, licensed up and in the job spot. So, started doing that and saw there was a pretty big gap, like between the extremes. There was like your Paul Blart mall cops who were just there for a paycheck,
Right.
and then you had your super high speed tier 1 guys who were doing all the overseas and cool guy stuff, and then there was me in the middle who wanted to do well in the job space, was proficient with the firearms, and there was nothing as far as like training material wise
Right.
that was out there. And so I started, it was crazy too because this was right before COVID hit. And so once that actually hit, I was inside of a like 900, or is that 900? Anyway, it was a massive square foot building. I was working at a call center, and they just emptied out once COVID hit. And so I was literally in that building by myself. So I started writing my own training curriculum for security. And the goal was to take that curriculum, hand it to a 5th grader, and they could join the security industry and be successful.
I think you got to go overseas for that.
Yeah, I can send a 5th grade overseas. That's fine.
I think you gotta have to get them overseas.
I was over at our trip to Far West Texas. We went down to Big Bend. They got the Boquillas crossing into Mexico. Literally 14-year-olds with fully automatic machine guns sitting on the back of Humvees, and I'm just like,
Those are the people we want.
well, I didn't go overseas. I had to cross a big river though. That's where they're at.
Yeah. It's a little foot pond, actually. It's not a huge river.
So did you end up implementing that training after you put it together?
I did. So Wilson actually introduced me to a guy, and he had kind of a brand new company, and he was saying, hey, look, these guys are more high speed, they deal with more high risk stuff, and they're looking for a trainer. You got this curriculum, I think you should go over there and see what you can do for them. So I did. I met up with him, and he was expecting me to have maybe like a 2 or 3 slide PowerPoint presentation and some note cards, and I showed up with a book. And he was like, oh, okay, so you really put some thought in this. I'm like, yeah. So he put me through like a 2-week trial period where I ran everybody through the curriculum, and he liked it, and I've been there since 2019. So
okay.
Yeah.
You want to name drop the company?
Gladiator Contracting.
I haven't seen them running around.
Because they're they're everywhere.
Yeah.
There's security companies everywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm actually getting ready to step down from that now, just because different opportunities.
Hell yeah.
Do they got anything to do with that place that was on Camp Bowie? Were they on Camp Bowie for a little bit? Oh, yeah, Highway 80, technically Camp Bowie West.
I don't know.
There was a gun shop over there that had that feel, and then they also did some security on the side. They're black polos, little gladiator helmets.
No. We're not that fancy.
Oh, okay.
Not that fancy at all. But I was head of their training division and was doing that's kind of how I cut my teeth on some of the higher risk security. And we've done some stuff overseas, went to Ukraine.
How was that?
It was fun.
Oh, yeah?
When was this? When was this?
So that was like kind of right at the start. We were asked to go pull somebody out.
Okay.
And so that was kind of one of those moments I was sitting there like, all right, this is like
What
some
did
big boy shit.
What did I get myself into?
So I'm like, oh, dude, unless we're getting like a massive paycheck, like I'm not going. But, we made the decision to go down
And
there.
I went.
So I went. So no shit.
So anyways, I'm in Ukraine.
Sitting in Ukraine, right?
And that's why San Francisco didn't look so bad.
Yeah, right, exactly. But that was a very interesting experience, an eye-opening experience for me, and then really took a lot from that. Came back, updated a lot of stuff in my training curriculums, and
Can you tell us anything about Ukraine?
How long were you over there?
a month and a half.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you got a snapshot.
Yeah, got a pretty good snapshot. Ended up actually training some of the Ukrainian soldiers down there too. So that was kind of an interesting experience. Coming from no background,
Yeah.
to seeing guys, and a lot of them, we're talking conscripts, you know what I mean, like just regular teachers, mechanics, all that kind of stuff, and then showing them bare bones things.
People that didn't have a choice, but they had to be there.
Right.
Right.
They were there.
So
right.
what's the life like after training? Like it's 6 p.m. and everybody's going to eat dinner or walking around the city. Or are they? Or is it still martial law and nothing's going on? What's the...
people were still kind of living life. I mean, you would hear missile sirens and stuff going off, and that was kind of the thing. And it was wild because at first, the first couple of weeks, I was just wide awake whenever they popped up.
Uh-huh.
Then after that, I was like, you just sleep through them like a baby.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
you just
kinda
get used to it.
Yeah. And then for the most part, it was kind of like, dude, if a missile hits, we're screwed anyway. So we might as well just calm down and just
that's the full train of thought, like broken down in steps. That's how it works. You get freaked out at first, and then you come to the realization, like, if that thing drops on me, I'm just done. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing.
I guess I'm just here.
Yeah. So that was, like I said, that was a very eye-opening experience. And then after that, we came back home and continued on doing the and working. But I started to try to break off into more of the executive protection stuff.
Yeah.
And actually, Wilson and I ended up working together more in that. And so
before we move on from Ukraine, is there any kind of insight that you gained that you feel like is being kind of left out of the story that's being fed to us through media?
There was so much more stuff available to Ukraine than was being let on.
Right.
I mean, there was
you're talking about equipment,
military stuff, like just seeing like pallets of things. Yeah. Right. And going like, oh, well, I thought you guys didn't have, you didn't have stuff, right? You didn't have things that were available to you. And then as far as, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the impression is they're all over there with 12 gauges shooting drones, and that's all they got.
Now, there definitely was some like Soviet era gear that was there, right? And
lots of WD-40.
Yeah, right, exactly. But dude, they're equipped.
Yeah,
they got stuff.
Yeah,
they got stuff. And I think it's now.
But can the school teacher use it, or can the carpenter use it?
Dude, anybody can use it. Can they use it well?
There you go.
Debatable.
Well, they can hold it and point it.
Yeah, exactly. All I'm there is just to teach you how to point it and shoot it. That's all you need to do, right?
Well, I guess with conscription, if that's all you got, that's all you got. That's not what you want. You want trained soldiers that want to be there, but.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, I guess you get janitors and bakers and what's the guy that makes the shoe? A cobbler? Yeah.
Cobblers. Tons of cobblers. Cobblers are the first ones to get conscripted, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
You make damn good shoes, sir.
You sure do.
Well, I mean, there's only two of you, and Nike's already got you covered. So really, we're just hanging on to you for posterity. So go out and get shot first. I think that's the cobbler's move. I feel bad for cobblers now. There should be a cobbler union.
It's probably cobblers and then like
Ukrainian cobbler union.
And gigging musicians. I bet you got the guys sitting there playing guitar in like a restaurant, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't need that right now."
Unless you can play with this siren.
We don't need a bard. We don't need a bard.
All right, so we're out of Ukraine now. You're back here. Are you still doing plenty of training?
Yes. So I'm just a humongous proponent of training, right? And it's just one of those things where it's like it's pretty black and white. If you don't got the skills, you don't got the skills. And if you don't have the skills to fix a certain problem, then you're just in trouble, right? Like that's just all it is, right? So
are you talking about just somebody's mentality coming into it, or somebody racking up the hours with training in order to become what you need them to be to fill that position?
Not even position, just life in general. Like if you are planning to
Ooh, we're going deep. Yeah, philosophy.
Yeah. You like it? Okay.
Just life, man.
That's where I check out, guys. We'll see you later.
Socrates, right?
I'm holding a drink.
Yeah.
Socrates, my favorite.
No, but like I said, just especially when doing the security training stuff, and I'm sure you've heard stories from Wilson as well. Like, it's really scary because you get a lot of guys that come in and they're doing armed security positions, and they've never even held a firearm before. And like, okay, there's that, right? And then on the other side of that, do LTCs as well. Same thing. People come in the door. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, let me get you through the baseline. And
dude, so you know me, I'm not on social media. I don't know what the hell's going on in this space. But what I have seen is that ATF agent saying that Glock 18 was the scariest pistol he's ever shot.
What was the caliber?
It's a 9mm.
22.
Yeah.
But I've seen everybody diss that guy, and not like I've seen a bunch of it, but I've noticed that everybody's like, screw that. The ATF thinks the Glock's the most harmful handgun. I'm here to tell you, from a machine gun rental standpoint, the Glock 18 is the most scariest gun to rent. I'll put an old lady behind a 240 Bravo before I hold her.
Right.
Give her a Glock 18.
Because she can't wrap her face around to look down the barrel, right?
Yeah, well,
not only
what did you see?
Because 29 of those 30 rounds are going toward whatever's there. The freeway, the highway. It ain't going where she's shooting.
Okay.
Even when we hand her to him, like I'm like, okay, I'm right here with you. Point at the ground. See, there's the target. I need you to aim 15 feet in front of me.
Russell, pull that mic up just a little bit.
Yeah. You there now?
Yeah. You sound
there you
so
are.
much sexier
Now,
now.
Well, it's the beard.
What were you saying? Because all I seen was
I heard your beard talking for a little bit.
I was mad at old people handling Glock 18s is all. And ATF was right on that one.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
said
you know,
that.
so, I mean,
Oh,
that.
that's a sound clip.
Yeah.
That's a bit right there.
ATF was right.
You got him to say it. Move in.
I would argue that if there is a
Can we
proponent
just
for
cut
the
that?
ATF,
Cut that out.
Oh no, it's how we're gonna start the show from now on.
I'm probably the biggest ATF proponent that I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
That doesn't mean I'm a proponent. I'm just the biggest one.
We all got real quiet there for a second. Time out.
He's got an ounce of it in there. Yeah.
But I mean, hey man, going back to the Glock 18 though, running the rentals or training courses or whatever we do, anytime we put that gun in somebody's hand, like you definitely can tell who knows how to shoot pistols and who don't. You know, there are other few that they get behind it and they can control it, and you're like, oh, okay, like you actually know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then you get the ones that are like, oh yeah, I shoot all the time, every day. I know how to do this, and you put it to them, and they're all over the place.
So what is it about the 18 that makes? I mean, like the functionality of
Well,
it.
it's so light. It's
Okay.
a full auto 9mm.
Yeah. Oh, it's a full auto. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So full auto Glock.
Okay.
30
Yeah.
round mag.
That is dangerous. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
And if you can hold the trigger down and keep it steady, you can dump the whole mag before the first shell casing hits the ground.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it just rainbows.
And that's 30 rounds.
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah.
And if
I wouldn't want to give that to
You
just
do it
anybody.
enough, you can gangster it. You can like shoot them into holes and shit.
Curve the bullet.
Yeah, you curve the shells. I don't care where the bullets are going. I'm curving the shell casings. That's what I'm
If
shooting.
you got a Glock 18, you really don't care where the bullets are.
just general direction.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah.
There's no practical application to that if you're trying to keep something on target, right?
No.
Insane.
Mine's cool because it's I say mine. Ours is cool because it's got holes in the barrel and it's ported. So when you shoot it at night,
Yeah. You get
it's got
the
flames coming
Oh,
up.
looking like a dragon.
Yeah, it's like that's your
Dragon.
front sight.
Yeah.
You can aim better at night than you can. You just keep it inside the flames.
That's crazy.
Just keep it in between the V. You'll be fine.
But that is the most fun gun. It's the most out of control you'll feel.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea. You get a machine gun because you're like, I know how to shoot everything. You get a machine gun, you're like, I don't feel like I'm in control.
Yeah.
The Glock 18 is the most out of control. It's the least safest gun we.
Can I give you my worst gun range pistol story real quick?
I can't.
I'll keep
I
it
can't
short.
wait.
I'll keep it short. I don't know. Maybe I've brought this up before. It's so crazy that I tell the story as often as I can, especially to people that are operating a range. So I was an E5 running a range in Mineral Wells, and my task was to run the pistol range. And if you know anything about at least the Army, I don't know if the Marines run like this, but
Is this at the old helicopter base? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so in the Army, typically the only ones handling handguns are the officers and like upper NCOs, right? So those were my guys. So I'm E5 running this course, and I've got all these guys that outrank me. And Sergeant Turner didn't give a shit about that. Once they stepped on my range, now your rank doesn't get you any kind of credibility here. Like you're going to earn your credibility by how you operate on your lane. So anyway, I got buddied up with the first sergeant for my unit, and I'd never shot with this guy. I'd never seen him shoot, but these are a bunch of reservists, and I know that their knowledge base for weapons and being at the range is about as limited as it gets, right? Yeah. Most police officers have more training than these guys. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, because these guys,
It's true and it's not good. I think that's what you're getting at. Like that can't be true.
Well, so I'll tell you, the first sergeant that I was with, he had not been to a pistol range in probably 5 or 6 years, which is just insane to me. So anyway, I get down there and I'm coaching him, and I'm just running through the process, and he lets one fly. We're good. He lets another one fly. Still good. That third one, he hits the trigger. Pop, no kick, and what's he do?
Turns around.
No. He pulls that pistol right up to his eye and looks down the barrel to see where the jam is. And I took both of my hands. This is the way you're supposed to do it. So at least this is the way I would tell anybody to do it. As I watched the muzzle start coming up towards his face, and for some reason, I felt like he was going to do this, so I was ready for it. And I took both of my arms, and I put both of my hands on top of the pistol, on top of his wrists, and I guided it back towards the ground. So the weapon is coming up towards his face. I grab his wrists, and as I'm pushing the muzzle back down towards the ground, it discharges. Oof. If I hadn't have been just on top of my shit that day, we'd have been down one first sergeant and plus a whole bunch of bullshit. I mean, it was and the craziest thing I ever saw. So I took the pistol from him. I removed him from the range. He was arguing with me. I was like, you got to get the fuck out of here. I can't deal with you right now. Like, I don't even know how to put words together currently. So you just need to walk away. And so he went back, and I think somebody else went out there with him later in the day after he'd had a chance to calm down, and they had a chance to coach him and tell him what a fucking idiot he was. But after that, I was pretty much cooked too. I was like, somebody else is going to take this. I'm going to go. I have to go sit down. Because, I mean, that, we're talking a quarter of a second, and the whole story is completely different. And his comment to me right after that round went down range was, did you see that? Yeah, I fucking saw that.
And that was the starter shoot smart.
Yep.
Oh, no. Shots fired. Shots fired. Too soon. For anybody listening that doesn't know, that's a local gun range here in DFW.
Apparently, Gritter's competition.
There's a lot of that going on.
Anyway,
Debatable.
I had to get that out of my system because as we're talking about, just safety with pistols and putting it in the hands of a rookie or somebody that's not qualified to be operating it.
Even if it's not you, if you're in control or someone in control or in charge of how that person's supposed to handle that pistol and they have a negligent discharge, you feel that like in your soul. You're like, oh,
dude, it shook me.
Especially if you do it somewhat for a living. You're like, I'm not in control of what I do for a living as a man. That eats at you for 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, I was proud of the outcome. Like I had as much control over the situation as I possibly could. I was anticipating it for some reason, and I did exactly what I should have done. And if it hadn't have gone just like that, it'd been a whole different story. So
that's kind of crazy because there was this little old lady that used to come through Gritter when I was an RSO on the range, and we used to wear like plate carriers and all that kind of stuff. And people were like, why are you wearing plates?
I don't trust
you. Yeah, I was like, okay, right.
Can't believe I'm giving you a gun.
This lady was super sweet. I loved her, and she was awesome. She was absolutely amazing. She would come in like once a week, retirement, type of thing.
Sounds like a bless your heart story. Go ahead.
Yeah. So she comes in, so she's shooting, and at one point in time, she's sitting there and she's squeezing the trigger, and she's got an M&P. I like M&Ps, by the way. It's fine. So she's got a shield. She's sitting there. She's shooting. And then eventually, gun runs out. She loads the next magazine in. She drops a slide. And it's out of battery, right? So it's like, out of battery, yay. Yeah, right? And so I see that as I'm walking up and down the line. I go up behind her and I place my hand on her shoulder. I'm like, hey, your gun's out of battery, right? She turns around, facing me. She's going, "What? What do you mean?"
Oh my
and I'm sitting there going,
dude.
"I'm gonna have to smoke a little old lady today. I'll see you then." So smokes a little old lady, and I'm like, "Nope." Right. So I grab her and I spin her around real quick. I'm like, "Put the gun down." Like, this is what out of battery means. But it was one of those like just kind of heart dropping moments, right? Because like I said, she wasn't mean. She wasn't malicious or anything like that. She just didn't have the knowledge base, right?
Thank goodness that Smith & Wesson M&P wasn't machined properly in the chamber.
However, had she have shot you, then nobody would have been asking why you're wearing plate carriers as an instructor anymore.
Yeah. True. I would have left the bullet there. I'm just
saying.
Walked around with it like, here you go. This is the proof. True.
Now, were you wearing a carrier at that point? Okay. So you might have made it.
Yeah,
possible.
It's like the best shot you didn't intend type of thing. You know what I mean? That would have been like one of those lucky situations. Like what? And that.
Well, and I've had like computer glitches in my brain at the range before, where it's been like maybe it's been 12 months since I've been to the range, and I get in there and I'll catch myself like almost do something stupid, like pull the muzzle outside of the lane or something like that, and I'm like, oh fuck, slap it back down, like okay. Let's not forget who we are and where we're at.
Every time I hand somebody one of our guns, no matter what it is, whether it's semi-automatic or whatever, I always play back in my head these 2 distinct videos that really keep me on track, and that's the the one where that dude shooting that 50 cal and that round comes back and knocks his ears off.
Oh my God!
Have you seen that shooting a Barrett?
Are they in kind of a smaller studio?
Studio?
No, they're outside.
It looks like a studio.
No, they're
I've
like-
seen a video like it's a Middle Eastern guy that's in full dress.
With like a rifle.
No.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I know what you're talking
Okay.
about. No, that ain't it.
No,
No, they're
this
like
is just some
they're
regular
like
dude.
down in outside in a canyon somewhere.
Oh,
with
okay.
Like
some
somewhere where you
mountains.
would think you would be shooting it okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I.e., this seems like a proper video.
Yeah.
You know, everything's going to be great. They're shooting a 50 cal, no big deal. Out, it's sandy, so you know they're out in some flat areas.
Right.
And freaking round knocks his ears right off. They shoot out a metal plate or something, and it was just angled appropriately to where it ricocheted right back at him. So, just
wanna
how
talk about it?
perfect was that? So I remember that video.
I'm done for the day.
I'm done,
Maybe
yeah.
the week, month.
And the other video, and this is big with the rental gear, is whenever that young girl smoked that dude at an inside range with an Uzi.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Was that her father?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't want to. I didn't want to dive into it.
Oh, man.
I think it was the instructor or the RO.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the father.
Because, like, what? She was young, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah, like,
She was like 7,
Yeah.
Oh,
8,
no.
something like
I
that.
had
Oh,
heard,
yeah.
like, something like it was, like...
Yeah, and you just go, whoop,
Yeah.
and she just that number in 2 rounds, pop, 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 right in her dad's head or whatever.
I mean, that's not on her.
That's right.
I hope to
Not on
God
her at
she's
all.
able to get that through her head in therapy.
But those 2 videos, whenever I hand anybody, that's a good Navy SEAL check. I'll tell you that. You hand somebody a Glock 18, you're like, "Oh, I'm a SEAL." Oh yeah, here you go, try this.
I think everybody's a SEAL nowadays.
I know it's the great litmus test is the Glock 18. But I think that every time, even when someone like claims they did all the things, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the first magazine with my hand on your shoulder.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because that first sergeant situation,
You need
you
to be
think
able to
he
get a
knows.
hold of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't rent out automatics.
That's a good way to get ahead of that one.
Yeah.
But
It's-
even outside of automatics, I mean, it's still.
It is.
And,
It is.
and there is, I think we had just watched a video or something about somebody having a pop no kick and looking down the barrel to see what was going on. I was like, that is so crazy.
Yeah.
And then that day or a couple days later, I saw it in person. I'm like, is there like something inside of our monkey brains that just you want to look down the goddamn barrel or something? Like, is that a thing? Is there a switch in our head that goes, huh?
Natural selection.
That's what that switch is
That's
called.
a self-correcting problem.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The what was it? The Sam Cole made everybody equal. And this is the same theory, just the other end of the spectrum, really.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, wow.
Well, you get
It's better for the human consciousness as a whole if people check down the barrels.
yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And that might be what's happening to our society right now. Everything's bubble wrapped and safety, and you know, we need a little more natural selection these days.
Dude, if we took off all the warning stickers, you would see it happen like crazy. You know?
So
You wouldn't see nothing. Nobody reads those.
I'm gonna be.
That's just the cover your ass, you know, when
Yeah.
when you
You
lock
know
your
what?
baby in a cooler, because that's a thing, you know.
Warning
man.
stickers are just for people who read.
Yeah.
These people aren't reading.
You know what?
They're just looking down the end of a barrel.
My fault. My fault, people.
I've never felt so much like a city slicker than about a week ago. We were down in Terlingua Ghost Town, and we're walking from the restaurant, Starlight Theater and Restaurant. And we're just kind of looking at stuff, and there's a plaque next to an old mine that they'd had closed off with a grate. And I didn't even really pay attention to this until we started walking back, but there are fucking 30-foot drops in these canyons that are just kind of weaving around the parking lot and around the different little attractions and stuff, little tourist traps. And I'm looking at this.
Literally.
I'm like, right. There's no rails. There's no safety signs. There's nothing. And it's like, okay, I'm in a different kind of place. Like the people out here, they're not playing the bubble wrapped everything safety thing. And yeah, I think if more places were like Ghost Town Terlingua.
That's your first red flag right there. Ghost Town Terlingua. I would never.
But that's how they get people to come to the restaurant, man. You gotta jazz it up a little bit.
Yep.
The food's out of this world.
No.
I will tell you, I don't think there were any brothers
You'll
out
fall
there.
for it.
Do you hear me? I don't think there were any brothers out there, honestly.
That's why.
I don't think there was one.
That's why.
Unless those were the ghosts.
Damn.
It was just because it was dark outside.
That is
That's why they're ghosts. It was dark outside.
But if you ever get a chance, though, that is an interesting environment down there. People are different. It's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah.
That's how different they are, right?
There wasn't a lot of melanin. It was just these beat up old.
You gotta earn this, brother.
Yeah.
Gotta stay alive for at least 20 years before you get this dark.
We should definitely go out in the sun more. We should do an outside podcast next time. I feel like
I started wearing shorts again because my legs are like literally glow in the dark. So
It's all right.
yeah, I mean,
I started watching Reno 911 too, so I get it.
not shorts, not those kind of shorts. That's a little too much. I don't have
New boot goofy.
I don't have the thighs for that. I just don't, and I'm not shaving, so
It's all right. It's fine.
They're called bears, sir.
bears.
Yeah,
Are bears allowed to wear those kinds of shorts?
I think. Yeah, I think
You
that's
seem
what
like
you
the
are.
expert. Is why I'm asking.
Hey, I know some people. I got all sorts of friends. 15 years married, happily, to a woman.
He spent
Those are the ones you got to watch out for. I hear.
he spent some time in the U.S. Virgin Islands on the little boats with all these other little guys in their little shorty shorts and speedos. He's a pro, man.
I've been next to Epstein Island.
He's see what I mean? He knows what's going on.
Okay. All right.
I heard a funny bit. The comedian saying, "I would have never gotten invited to P Diddy party because one, I'm just not that popular. I don't get invited to cool things like that. And two, my buddy Epstein, we were hanging out on the side, and he warned me. My buddy told me not to go to those P Diddy's parties, and I said, okay, Epstein.
Man, that's another level.
Right.
When Epstein warns you, bro.
Talking about cultural stuff, I got to ask this question. I told you guys I was going to do it before we got live, but you got 100 people. They're fighting one silverback
Jesus.
gorilla.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Come on, let's break it down. What do you think?
Do I have a gun?
No gun.
No gun.
No, he kills all of you.
I think so.
Is it a male gorilla?
It doesn't matter.
It's
Oh, it matters.
it's the
No.
meanest.
It matters.
I don't
What, are you
know.
gonna fuck her?
No, I'm gonna kick that some bitch as hard as I can in his nuts and run. I ain't gotta be fast. I just gotta outrun the other some bitch I kicked in the nuts.
So
all
you're
right?
you're gonna make it.
I'm making it one
99
way or
other
another.
People might not.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'm throwing somebody at it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that.
Look, I've studied gorillas a bit.
Have you really?
Interesting
Gorillas,
side topic.
bears. He's all about it, man.
I'm just.
Is that another type of alternate lifestyle?
Yeah, gorillas.
Oh no!
Bears,
See, well,
Epstein.
yeah, it is. One's biological anthropology, one's cultural anthropology.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I understand now.
So not gay gorillas. You ain't gonna get that
Oh.
close, homie. He's gonna rip your fucking head off.
You're the one talking about fucking them. I mean, I was.
Listen, when it comes down to a battle like that, you got to consider all your options.
Yeah, man.
Maybe you got to give them a piece. I don't know.
Hey, just stay calm. You might win. Just succumb. Just succumb, man.
Wait a minute.
If nobody else will take it, just take it. You'll live.
Absolutely.
Everybody back in the pile. That's all I say.
It only took us 4 episodes to get this unhinged.
Oh man.
Or is this our third? This might have.
We
this is our
are
fourth.
gonna have to put a warning on the title of this video.
Oh yeah, it's called Donovan Manufacturing. That's the warning.
Yeah.
Donovan Manufacturing, get back in the pile.
I was thinking gorillas, bears, and Epstein Island. That should be a title for this.
Ooh, yeah.
You remember the South Park episode where the Goobacks come in and they try to they're coming back to take jobs. So to fix it, all the dudes in South Park all decide to start fucking each other and turn gay. So there's nobody in the future to come back to take the jobs.
Dylan, what happened here? How did this
I gave him a week off.
I went to Epstein Island.
I wasn't sure where he was. I thought he was in San Antonio.
What is happening?
He
with
was somewhere with
Epstein
gorillas and bears and.
They sold it. I think,
sold it?
Yeah.
What do you mean they sold it?
Yeah, somebody bought it. Like $7 million or something. Like
that was discounted.
That's
you
probably
get
a
all
deal.
the tormenting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the messed up part.
Oh, here it comes the messed up part.
So here's where everybody flies in. Here's where everybody stays. Here's where Epstein Island is. Here's where everybody has to go between one island to the other. So everybody down there sees that. It's not like it's some island in the middle of nowhere where nobody knows. You can get to it via helicopter from the main airport.
Yeah.
That's where P. Diddy went. You know? So,
Really?
yeah, so like everybody that works there sees that island with that palm tree and that little Egyptian bullshit on the top. Every
Now
day.
you know.
You do know a lot about Epstein Island.
He is in the know for
I'm a
sure.
little concerned.
He was able to keep his name off the list.
Let's turn this shit
I'm on
around.
every list but that one.
Let's see if we can get this back on track. So,
Oh,
Dillon,
man.
last time we talked, a couple weeks ago before our trip down to Far West Texas, you were finishing up paperwork to get the security company launched. Have you made any strides in that direction?
Yeah, paperwork's done. All the insurance been submitted. Yeah, everything's good to go. Just
Okay.
waiting for them to activate it and
Excellent.
do the thing.
And I can't remember. I think I probably asked you this last time, but do you already have clients lined up for that?
Yeah, we've got a few things lined up. Actually, after this, I got a meeting with the guy. We're going to talk about some. We're either going to talk about some security stuff, or he's going to want to buy a suppressor. I'm not really sure.
One
Well,
of the two,
don't be surprised if he asks you that 100 men versus gorilla thing, because that's what
Now,
everybody's
I
talking
now have
about.
an answer.
Yeah.
You can win.
You bring Russell with you, so someone's sucking the gorilla off while I can get away.
And then 99 of you can get away.
That's right.
That's the move.
I don't be tickling or nothing.
Jesus Christ. Well, hell yeah, brother.
98.
98.
I'm not going to be there.
Okay, yeah.
It's going to be him, right?
Ain't nobody gonna believe this shit.
God. Russell, what you got going on this week, man?
Oh, gorilla. Let's see.
This episode brought to you by Gorilla Tape. If it's broke, Gorilla Tape can't fix it. You don't need it.
What is going on this week? We got a jack squat though, but we do have the thing coming up in 2 weeks. That's kind of what I'm prepping for. And down at the ranch,
So we'll go ahead and plug that. So what are we in April? May? It's May.
May
right?
now. May
Okay.
1st.
So
it's like in 2 or 3 weeks.
May
I
15th,
know.
15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th down at the ranch.
2 weeks
It's police week.
Okay.
So it's open to law enforcement officers only. It is an RSVP thing. There is limited space. You can hop on the website, ranchtx.org. There's a link in there. You can click that, sign up, RSVP. But it's free to law enforcement officers. There's going to be a bunch of classes going on. I think they said SlyTac's going to be down there doing a 2-day course. And then Saturday and Sunday, Knuckle Draggers is going to be down there teaching CQB. I'll be down there teaching breaching. I don't know who's coming down yet, but we're going to be doing a medical aspect of it down there. There's a mobility class going on there same weekend, so it's going to be a super busy weekend.
This is just in 2 days you're doing all that?
No, 2 weeks.
Oh, two.
So
Well, I mean, the course.
I
is
think
2
it
days.
was
4 days.
Yeah, it was 2. It got extended to 4
Yeah.
because it started getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But that being said, they only have limited housing. There's a bunkhouse down there. It's pretty rad, and it's great camaraderie. But there's hotels on site too, but you don't get the same vibe. You know,
Are people throwing up tents?
yeah,
They do,
Yeah,
There's
tent-
RVs,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can RV down there too. There's plenty of space. So and bathrooms are there. So if you do an RV, you can go use the bathroom in the bunkhouse or whatever. Fire pit at night, the cooking steaks and whatnot. There's a workout gym there. So it not gym, but like in a workout space with weights and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a pretty rad place. Plenty of places to run in the morning before everybody starts shooting.
Yeah.
depending on time of year, you're running for your life because rattlesnakes chasing you. Whatever.
Do you see a lot of that down there?
A lot of rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. My entire
The rattlesnakes don't bend the fences up.
worried about the hogs.
No, they don't do it either.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they do.
It's not a problem
they-
anymore now since Trump's in office, but before.
It's very close to the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, dude. I mean, a lot of rattlesnakes.
The whole week I was down there, and this was on like day 4, day 5, maybe. I was like, man, it's so crazy because we've been hiking all over the place, all the trails in Big Bend and then up in Terlingua, Ghost Town, all that. I hadn't seen one snake. And right as I said that, here comes this, I think it's called a coach whip. It was like pink almost. Sucker was like 6 feet long, comes running across the road.
Now, was it a real 6 feet long?
Well,
so we were down at the ranch. I was in the bunkhouse, and I step out. Chad comes cruising up on his side by side, and he's like, "Dude, you got to come with me." I'm like, "What is it?" He goes, "I just killed this rattlesnake, and it was
12 feet long.
It was like fucking like 7 foot long rattlesnake." I'm like, "No shit," and he's like, "Yeah, come on." I was like, "All right." So we hop in, cruise out. Again, he's looking for it. We're back in the little trails, and he's looking. He's like, "I don't see it." And he's like, "Oh, there it is." And I was like, "Oh," and we got out, and I was like, bro, it's like 3 foot, maybe, man, maybe.
it was bigger when
he's
it
like,
was
man,
alive.
shut up. It looked bigger. All right, I
They
get
always
you.
do, yeah.
Yeah, man. But no, I mean, we've seen
All
I
snakes
mean,
are
I've
bigger,
witnessed. Yeah, I've witnessed some big ass rattlers down there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not something you play around with. I was asking a professional the other day. I was like, should we get a snake bite kit and take it with us? And apparently it's almost more destructive to use those than to just get them to the hospital for proper medical treatment. What do you think?
Well, I typically just have somebody with me, and I let them suck it out.
Right.
Yeah.
City slickers. I remember that.
Yeah.
Solid advice. If Russell's not busy with a gorilla.
And you happen to get bit on the.
It's not gay. He's my brother.
Dude, there's a movie, man. It's one of those stupid ass movies that somebody made, and I don't remember the name of
That
it.
narrows it down.
Yeah, I'm going to describe it, and then you'll be able to find it. So in the movie, they're friends. They're out camping. I think there's like 4 or 5 of them, like a couple guys, couple girls, and this dude's taking a piss, and he's playing with a knife, and they're all stoned and drunk, and somebody walks up and scares him, and he drops the knife, and it cuts his dick off.
Oh, shit.
Right. Well, they're in the middle of nowhere.
Oops.
So now they're trying to save his dick and get him, some
feel like I remember this.
medical attention
Yeah.
somewhere. And so this guy's like carrying this dude's dick around, and he happens to, they're out in the middle of nowhere, and it like falls on the ground or something, and a fucking rattlesnake bites the dick. And fucking the girl that's with him's like, well, you can't use it no more. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, you're gonna have to suck it out. And he's like, man. So like he makes everybody go away, and he's just like, oh.
I feel like I remember this, and like there's always something else that happens to
Oh,
the
yeah,
dick,
yeah,
right?
dude, this-
like by
this-
the time he gets it there,
Yeah, dude.
yeah, it just keeps getting beat
This
up.
dick goes through this adventure, but they save the dick. Like he gets it
Yeah.
put back on in the end. But it had a whole
Since
life.
nobody
of its
could
own.
remember the name of the movie. I guarantee it's probably a porn, and y'all are just getting yourself right now. And you're like, what is this thing where this guy sucked his own dick?
We're into the same shit. That's cool.
They click on the same links on Pornhub.
Look, man, all the genres and crazy shit. It's not every day you find somebody that's got the same vibe. All right.
There's too many options.
Yeah.
It's actually a book he's writing. He's just trying to test it out.
Already getting good feedback.
It's only a couple pages long, but hey, it's more of a countertop book.
How about you, Holly? What do you got on the horizon?
I got SIG Day coming up over at Gritter, and
Damn it, he did it again.
yeah, I did it again. Another 20 grand. SIG Day coming out, so we got a bunch of SIG guns. We're a SIG Elite dealer.
You
so
get like a rep comes out and just kind of shows you all the new toys.
bunch of them, yeah. So we have all the SIG guns laid out. People come in, try out the stuff, and
Nice.
I'll be there doing social media stuff for them, and got a couple security classes, LTC classes coming up. And other than that, I'm just kind of chilling out.
Can we do anything to kind of help promote your business or whatever you got going on? Are there links that we need to throw at some people to follow you? Or?
So my personal one is Downrange with Josh.
Okay.
And
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I like
Downrange
it.
with Josh.
Yeah, I had to change. It used to be That's Some Monkey.
Oh no! Oh no!
And, I've had that thing since junior high. And someone was like, so listen. If you want people to collaborate and follow you, I think you might need to change that. I was like, all right,
This
fine.
might have been acceptable on Xbox.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's still what it is on PlayStation. You know? But yeah, downrange with Josh, and then of course we got Gritter TX. If you guys want to check that out, do a lot of social media stuff with that, a lot of posts. Other than that, I'm just kind of doing the do and trying to find my way through this crazy life.
Sounds like you're doing good, man.
Yeah, I'm making it work.
Yeah,
I'm making it work. So.
Well, I appreciate you coming out today. I don't know how they talked you into this mess.
I didn't have to.
Oh, really?
I didn't have to talk to him at all. I was just like, hey, we're doing this thing. He was like, I'm down. So
you gonna be talking about butt sex and sucking off gorillas? I'm in.
Yeah, he was all for it, man. We told him what was going to happen. No, it was funny. So
We need a black guy.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We need a little
Sucking off
color.
gorillas. We need a black guy.
Back in January, we're at SHOT Show, and like we're flying into SHOT Show, and I get a message on Instagram, and it's him. He's like, "Hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. I'd really like to meet up with you at SHOT Show." And I'm like, "Okay." And I told him, I was like, "Hey, I got to meet this guy for something."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh." I was okay. So we ended up meeting over. I think it was a Staccato booth. Mm-hmm. Go over there and walk up, introducing each other. We're sitting there talking, and I look down, and it's got Gritter across his on his badge. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Oh, you work for Gritter?" Yeah. In Northwest Hill. Yeah. I was like, "Motherfucker, I live in Fort Worth. You did not have to fly all the way out to Vegas to talk to me." Oh yeah, no. And we talked some guns, talked security, did the thing, and dude, ever since then, man, it's just we've been kicking it.
Excellent.
It's been a good ride. So
Well, maybe we can get you back on the show sometime then.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'd love it. Yeah.
Russell, you want to tell everybody your social media tags?
0.
He got none.
I have no social media tags. I got skin tags. I got fucking all kinds of tags, but that's not one of them is social media.
And then, of course, we've got Donovan MFG is on Instagram, TikTok, and probably Facebook too.
well, maybe TikTok. I'm pretty sure they shut down like 2 or 3 of those accounts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is Donovan MFG.
He ain't that good of a
YouTube.
dancer, guys. He ain't that good of a dancer.
No, I'm not. Yeah, but pretty much Donovan MFG everywhere else.
And then Dillon-Press on Facebook.
Yep.
For all your print needs. Kind of do it all here. Yeah.
Yep. Print. That's the move. The T-shirts. If you need T-shirts in the industry, we are the guys to do it.
Yeah. What is on your glasses right now?
Shit, I don't know. Dog
like
slobber?
It's gorilla semen.
You got like,
He's perspiring. He's thinking about the gorillas.
Yeah, I'm hot.
it looked like you had some like drawn on eyebrows.
Well, see, glasses, headphones, and these things don't,
Good insulators.
Yeah, and I'm steaming anyway. So,
Yeah.
Well,
just from naturally being
something
here.
that Dillon and I had been talking about last week was scheduling a time for Fort Worth Roots to go down to the ranch and do some recording with you guys.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about that?
And I think if you're going to do it, come down here in a couple weeks with
Boy,
us.
that would be a great time.
Okay.
Dude,
Let's look at our schedule and see if we can pull that off.
I want to go.
Let's go.
I want to go.
We
Yeah.
might need some help on the back end too.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need somebody there to do
I
some
don't,
media.
when you say that, now that I've heard your life story,
Man, you ain't heard shit yet, bro.
something about monkeys or something. I don't know.
Now that he understands the true nature of the Russell.
But yeah, brother, seriously, if you can get out in a couple weeks with us, I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of downtime. Maybe we can do a couple episodes while we're down there.
Oh, yeah.
At the very
We'll
least,
make it work.
man.
I got all the mobile gear. Like, that is a full recorder. We don't need all this.
Okay,
So
right on, man.
We can shoot and move
Cool.
at the same time. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for doing this with me.
Cool.
And we'll be back here next Thursday.
Cool.
All right, guys.
All right. See ya.
Later.
Well, my sweet little baby, she ain't quite right. Been gone for 40 days and for 40 nights. She's gone crazy in the head. Come on home, you got your daddy seeing red. Come on and show me hell tonight.
Thank you again for joining us for another episode of Donovan Manufacturing. If you'd like to get in contact with these guys, you can reach out to them on Instagram at donovanmfg.com. If you'd like to email them, Dillon at DonovanMFG.com is their email. And if you need to get a hold of me, Andrew, at Fort Worth Roots, our email is media@fortworthroots.com. And we'd love for you guys to hop on over to your social media site of choice and look for Fort Worth Roots. It's the same on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are always putting out content. Our mission is to support local small businesses and provide an additional stage for local musicians. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Got a niche you can satisfy.